No, I'm saying because I'm sure he maybe the cooperation, but yes, that's not possible.
Okay, guys. Hi, welcome back to our last talk of the day. Yes, I hope you are excited about trying out this Shopify online store and settings and features. I think you're learning a lot from it. Okay. Then we move to our last presentation that is about business intelligence and competitor analysis. Um, this is going to be a little bit of shorter version of the talk because I think that you can cover with the majority of the questions um, during the next workshop. However, we have been here since 9 a.m. Yes, it's 7 p.m. and you're still alive, right? Surviving so far. And this is sometimes what entrepreneurs do. Yes, and sometimes they keep it longer because they want to succeed in their businesses. And the last part is to analyze the competitors and get and grab a lot of information from the competitors. This is vital strategic assessment that you need to carry out to understand your business competitive landscape. And what you need to do is you need to understand, you need to know the products or services that your competitors are offering. You need to know the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the risks, okay, of every business that is competing to you directly or indirectly. In this case, for instance, you need to know the company size, or you need to have a little bit of what are they doing, which is the niche, which is the market, and there are some metrics that can help you to identify to who are you competing with and which is your capability. In this case, for instance, we are talking about two metrics, that is total size in terms of sales and in terms of employees, or the number of locations. So here I decided to just grab the number of stores and the number of employees. As you can see in the example, we have Starbucks, that they sell coffee, basically, yes, plus some other sandwiches or cupcakes, things like this. But basically, they make their income through the sale of coffee. We have Dunkin' Donuts, that the business is to sell donuts. Probably they make a margin on selling donuts. However, they also make a margin on selling coffee and beverages, right? So anybody that goes to Dunkin' Donuts, probably they also ask for something to drink, and maybe they make much more money in margin-wise in selling beverages and coffee. And the third example that we have here as a competitor is New Bremen Coffee Corporation Inc. So in terms of number of stores, Starbucks, these are approximately figures. They own 30,000, or they franchise 30,000 stores in total. Dunkin' Donuts, approximately 13,000. And New Bremen Coffee Shop, only one store. Seems like Coffee Bremen should apply different strategies if they want to compete with two well-known brands that, in one case, Starbucks competes directly and Dunkin' Donuts competes indirectly. That's correct? So now, in terms of number of employees, Starbucks employs around 350,000 people, and Dunkin' Donuts employs 270,000. Yes. So it means that if a new Bremen coffee shop has only 2 employees, they have to fight against an army of companies. Yes. In this case, probably the same strategy that they implement at new Bremen coffee shop will be different of what you will find in Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. And here is where you can start identifying what is your niche, what can you do, how can you differentiate. Maybe sometimes a smile to serve the customers is enough to attract them to drink coffee the next day. But this is something that you should have to identify. So getting this perspective of business is this new Bremen coffee shop cannot compete directly with Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. the brand awareness that these two brands have is too big, too large. So they should find different features in the business that can help them to compete with the other two. And this is the scenario where are you right now. Because you just decided to go with certain ideas. Now you start looking into images of products, into prices, into description of products, but you will find that probably the business that you have selected already it's occupied by other competitors in the market. So then you need to find where you can compete, when you can compete, and with which products you can compete. Then, in relation to product analysis and market share, we need to understand the competitors' product and service. We need to discuss the importance of the understanding of the competitors, and we need to highlight how to determine the desirability and the differentiation of these features. I put a couple of examples that I think it is convenient to talk about it. And if we talk about operating systems, we know that there are two operating systems for laptops or desktops. We have Windows and we have Mac.
OS.
Yes?
Mac OS.
iOS. Okay, perfect. You know I'm not a Mac user. So you see in this graph that more or less Windows gets 80% of market share, while Apple has 15% and all the other brands with their own operating system will have around 5% in total. Yes. Do you think somebody could compete in this market in the future? I don't know. AI is getting into the game right now, and whoever develops an operating system that can manage a lot of information, yes, maybe will display some of these big players. However, with the introduction of the smartphones in the year 2007, more people are using a smartphone and less people are using laptops. So the game of devices to manage information is shifting from one industry to the other industry. So today with the smartphone, you can do the same office work that you could do with tablet or that you could do with a laptop, because it's much more convenient and you always can have the computer on the pocket. And this leads us to the different example that we have on the right, that is the Android operating system for smartphones versus the iOS operating system for the iPhones, right? Perfect. So in this case, we know that the Android more or less has 72% of market share, while the iOS has the other part, 28%, and there are no competitors. However, potentially in the future also there could be some gap in the market that could be occupied by a new competitor. So whatever industry you are in, you need to detect which are the competitors. You need to dissect the information. You need to understand what they do, and that will give to you certain advantage to make decision of the right path to strategize your business, your companies, and your products or services. In this case, in the case of the business model and the customer acquisition, you need to have a clear strategy. And to have a clear strategy, you need to know what are the competitors' components, overall strategy. You need to know what is their business model. If they are doing advertisement, subscription, freemium, if they are a B2C, which type of B2C they are, or if they are B2B, which type of B2B, why you have some competitors that are doing only B2C and other in the same industry are doing B2B, which are the prices for wholesalers, which are the prices for consumers. But this is information that your competitor is going to give to you. Yes? So you have to analyze the main competitors in the industry and start to grab all that information needed for you to strategize your own businesses. Here you have to discuss the design of their business and how it contributes to their success. Okay, so learn from what they do well and try to find some weaknesses that you can use in your favor. In the case of strengths, weaknesses, and key takeaways, the objective here is to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the competitors and highlight the best practices to emulate. what you do is to discuss how to, what we will do here is to get especially the demographics that your competitors are targeting. So then you can profile the customer of your competitor, and potentially you can identify niches of the market that you could serve. Okay, so let's move into an example of Bloom and Wild. Do you know the company? No, I can introduce that to you. Yes, this is an online flower delivery service. Their strength is that they offer an innovative letterbox-friendly packaging. They have a unique product delivery method. Maybe they do it very easily through any device. They have an easy online order system. Potentially a weakness. It could be a weakness or it could be a strength. Yes, you could see this in both sides. Could be a reliance on a third-party couriers for a timely delivery. So they rely too much on third parties to deliver the products. However, also this could be converted into strengths, because if they have very close relationship with third-party deliveries companies, yes, if you get into that market to compete with this company, it's going to be very difficult, yes, to get the partner that helps to you to deliver your products. So this is something also that you could be analyzing. It could be in both sides, short term, it could be a weakness, but in the long term, maybe that partnership could be a strength, acts as a barrier of entry for new competitors. Yes, it's a natural formation of barriers. The best practices, for instance, could be the emphasis on customer service. Yes, improving the user experience for the business so that they come back and buy more products. And this is usually how you make business. When you get a customer buying from you more than one time and buying from you recurrently every day, every week, every month, or every year, depending on the product that you're selling. And also, they have a user-friendly website design. It's very simple. When you search for this website, look for it, and you will see that it's very user-friendly. And this leads us to the next workshop. Yes, and the next workshop is here in this link. So you have a QR code that I listened to some of you to include this. Let me check. Let's go here. Yeah, so it will open automatically. And as I told you, in this table that you all have access, please download it. You can download it from Google Sheets into Excel and start working on it. Or if not, just upload it into a file that you can collaborate among yourself. So it's much more easy that you work in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 competitors. If any of you just take one, then probably you will collect a lot of information from different competitors in different countries, if this is what you want, international business, or different competitors in one region. Yes, if your business is much more local oriented, or regional oriented. So in this case, the items that you need to find information is about the total size of the company, and this is mainly given by the number of sales, the revenue that they make, the number of employees, or as I showed you in the beginning, the number of locations. That also gives to you some information about how big is the company. Describe all the important features of each product or service similar to yours. So this is business intelligence. You need to know exactly what they are doing, so then you can find a gap. Which features are the most desirable and differentiated in the market? You can get that information through the reviews of their products. So maybe they sell through Amazon, or they sell through another marketplace. So then you can start looking at the review of the consumers and check what do they say about the product, what they like, what they don't like, or if they have any problem with the logistics, with the delivery, how do they treat the return of the product. Yes, if they are happy with all the process in the supply chain, if they have a very good user experience or not, and all that information that helps to you and gives to you in order to make a decision to your company. guesstimate the estimate of the product cost and pricing structure. In every industry, if you know a little bit of financial accounting, if you know the price of a product, if you subtract the VAT of that product, more or less you have the sales revenue of that product. So then you can work backwards to calculate the potential margin of that product. Yes, you have to subtract all the operating expenses per unit, let's say. You have to subtract the taxes that probably will pay, and then you can identify the margin. So you can work backwards in order to identify which is the markup for every unit and every product that they sell. You can identify their overall strategy. Yes, who are the customers, to who do they sell, how do they sell, what are the promotions, which are the channels, and all that information will help you also to build your strategy. How do they make money? Sometimes there are products in companies that they subsidize other products. So you need to be able to identify them. So you have star products, successful products, that they make a lot of money to that company because these companies sell volume, and this volume is subsidizing all products that they don't have still the volume to break even the costs. Yes, but in this way also the company becomes more competitive with a larger product portfolio or service portfolio. The design of the business, how they capture customers, the strengths, are they gaining strength and why? Weaknesses, are they weakening and why? How do they compete? How are they main customers, their best practices to copies, and others? Okay, so this table, through questions, will make you think about the competitors, so then you know where are you standing in your industry or in your business. Okay, so thank you very much for the long day since 9 a.m. until 7:30 almost. You've been completing a lot of work during the day. You handled it very well so far, and you still need to go through this workshop. This is the workshop number 4 in our program. And this is all for today. And tomorrow we have a couple of guest speakers. Let me show you who we have here. Oops. If we go here, we have Surya Kankumar talking about the challenges of e-commerce in logistics, and we have Suk Takhar talking about maximizing Shopify's potential and getting from 0 to 1. So later we have Ignacio Di Napoli sharing with us what is about Shopify payments, conversion, and growing international. He will touch something about user experience using Shopify platform. From my side, it has been all. Yes, and you know that we are in graducenter.org. If people online want to look for information of our wonderful campus here at Hochschule Bremen in Germany. And you know that if you want to know a little bit more about bootcamps, events, you can contact us in businesstnd.com. Thank you very much for today, and see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Thank you.